Hello and welcome to this month's edition of the Community Blood Bank Podcast Spotlight on Money Radio WPSE. I'm Joe Martin, and today we're shining a light on a very special community partnership, one that's rooted in kindness, compassion, and the legacy of a remarkable young woman. I'm joined by Marion Auray, here to talk about the Community Blood Bank's upcoming collaboration with Avery's Pawsitive Change, a nonprofit founded by the late Avery Chauncey, whose love for helping animals inspired an extraordinary movement across our region. Marion, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me and for allowing me to represent, as you beautifully stated, an exceptional young woman and the incredible philanthropy that she and her mom created together and that we continue today.
Marion, for listeners who may be hearing about it for the very first time, can you tell us a little bit about Avery's Pawsitive Change and the work the organization is doing in the community?
Yes, I'd love to. Avery's Pawsitive Change became an official 501c3 nonprofit charity in October of 2023. So we're just 2 years old as being an official charity, but the charitable work that Avery did began years ahead of that. And it was from her sincere passion and love for animals, knowing that many go hungry. Avery used to say to me, where there are hungry people, there are hungry pets. And I think when you just think about the simplicity of that statement and how true it is, and yet people sometimes don't think about that or realize that many, many families in our region have the need for support for their pet care. It's very expensive now. And what the purpose of Avery's Pawsitive Change was to partner. This is our actual mission statement. We partner with community food pantries, so human food pantries, supplying free supplemental pet food to the families and their pets in need. And our goal in doing that is to keep the families and the pets homed together and not abandoned or placed into very overcrowded rescues.
What a remarkable story.
It is.
Now, Marion, I know that Avery battled cancer for more than 5 years, and she received blood products during her treatment. What did those transfusions mean for Avery and for the people who loved and supported her?
Well, that's a very big question, and I could talk on that at quite length because, as you just mentioned, Avery battled Ewing sarcoma cancer. That is typically a childhood incurable cancer. And sadly, it took Avery way too soon at just over 18 years old. And many children don't make it to that point. So the need for blood transfusions, for those that are not familiar with chemotherapy, chemotherapy often can cause a lowered blood count or a platelet loss. And in both instances, receiving blood transfusions is absolutely essential for not only quality of life, but for extension of life while they're receiving treatments. Kim, Avery's mom, shared with me, because as I mentioned earlier to you, I had just met Avery and Kim 2.5 years ago. So when she was 16. So I was not privy to all of the medical situations she went through prior. But Kim told me the other day that she had received 15 or more blood transfusions that were absolutely life-saving for Avery and for so many other cancer patients in the country. I'm sure you know these statistics, but I read up on it a little bit, and I was surprised to read that about 25% of all blood transfusions go to cancer patients in our country. I thought that was an unbelievable number. And it really shows the need for people to donate blood because, you can't manufacture blood. It has to be donated. So that is really critical for so many people's lives. And Avery I don't know if you had the pleasure of meeting her. Everyone that knew Avery knew that she brought light and joy to her life and to everyone around her. And it was her decision in life not to focus on the challenges that she had through cancer, but to focus on the joy and pleasure she got in serving and caring for others. Personally, I've never met anyone like her, completely selfless and driven despite her incredible life challenges with cancer and other life challenges she had. But we're focused on her medical side today, which was really just unbelievable. I saw her go through multiple different types of chemo because, as many people know, typically you do not stay on just one type. And as your
Hmm.
cancer may advance or metastasize, hers became stage 4 several years ago. So I believe that not only due to the chemotherapy, but due to the availability of getting blood transfusions, that she was able to far exceed her life expectation. Pretty
Marion,
amazing.
it absolutely is amazing. Marion, the Community Blood Bank and Avery's Positive Change will be teaming up for a joint blood drive and a pet food donation event on December 20th, 2025. I know that honors both Avery's spirit and her dedication to animals in need. Marion, do you feel this is a meaningful way to celebrate Avery's legacy?
Oh, yes, it's an absolute incredible. When I got word that you had offered to do this, I thought, my gosh, what a great way. It's sort of a great combination of her cancer challenges and her philanthropy.
Mm.
And it's real, just because someone isn't giving blood doesn't mean they can't bring pet food, and vice versa. Someone could come and give blood, and maybe they didn't think to bring pet food, and that's okay too. And maybe some people just want to come and make a donation to help continue Avery's legacy and her work. So I think it's an absolutely perfect way to celebrate her fighting of cancer and, quite honestly, exceeding all expectations, and of her charitable giving to the community. It's a great way to give back. And knowing
Oh,
that you'll help so many other people by donating blood, that's the other thing. That is the extension of her philanthropy, is that what you're giving will help care for others in her name. So it couldn't be nicer.
so well stated. And finally, for everyone planning to come out, whether they're donating blood, contributing pet food, or simply showing their support, what do you think Avery would want them to know?
It's interesting. I got to spend so many wonderful moments, some of them very, I'll say, when I say intimate, very personal, sharing her dreams with me, sharing the life that she had lived. And her only message was always to give more than you receive. And that's it in a nutshell. We all have the capacity to serve at our own capacity in some level. And whether that means you go and give blood once or twice a year, you go bring dog food to an animal shelter, you give of time, volunteering of time is just as essential as of donation of funds. And so I think her message would be, first of all, gratitude. She always felt gratitude and gave thanks to all the people that have supported her. And then one of giving back. So that's always her message. And, it's the message that we at Avery's Positive Change plan to continue as part of her legacy, and hopefully growing it and having it reach more people in the community and beyond.
Marion, thank you so much for sharing Avery's amazing story and for helping us continue the incredible work that she started.
Thank you so much. It's so very appreciated to you and your listeners, and we're grateful for it. Thank you.
The pleasure is ours. Now, to our listeners, if you'd like to support the upcoming Blood and Pet Food Drive, visit forhearts.org. Once again, that's FOUR hearts.org. www.wpsconnect.org for all the details. This has been a WPSC podcast production, proudly sponsored by the Community Blood Bank of Northwest Pennsylvania and Western New York. Thank you for listening, and thank you for helping us honor Avery's beautiful legacy.